Al Kadosh, Boker Or. Yeah, day Bekiim Bahalacha 3, day 61. Yeah, he says like this. This is page 120, Siman 8, Siman Chet Halacha Nun Gimel. Right, as above, after Musaf. If someone's talit fell off him after you already completed the Amidah Musaf. You remember we spoke about this yesterday. That means there's no more Amidas anymore. It's after Musaf. He should not put it back on at all. In this way, he's going to avoid a situation where he may be obligated to make a bracha and see above in Halacha 51. So this is what we said. It's see footnote 55. This is the ruling of the Or Letzion. We already explained this because we said that the talit should be on for the Amidah. So if it's going to be right after Musaf that it fell off, so even though there's Kaveh and there's this and Alelu Shabeach and Adon Olam, no, don't put it back on again. Because then you get into machloket. Do you make a bracha or not? So therefore you're not going to do it. Okay? Halacha 54. If someone said the bracha of to put on his talit and then it fell out of both of his hands to the floor before he wrapped it around the body, he does not have to repeat the bracha. He simply picks up the talit and he continues doing the atifa. 56. This is the ruling of the Ben Ish Chai. I sent it as pictures, but they didn't send it yet. Yeah, on the chat. Right? He says this ruling of the Yosef Chai. He added that if the person was standing on a balcony porch and then it flew out of his hands, landing downstairs on the ground, then it could be a big interruption, right? Or signaling somebody to pick it up, right? He says, nevertheless, he must refrain from meaning bracha. He should only think of the words of the blessing without pronouncing them. So this is the chidush of the Ben Ish Chai. The Mishabra also paskin the same thing. So imagine a person comes, he's making the bracha, it falls, he doesn't make a new bracha. He picks it up, he just puts it on. One second. Yeah, that is halacha 54, right? The last halacha is 55. 55 says like this. Well, what about wearing it overnight? So he says like this. If someone sleeps overnight while wearing his talit, he must not make a new bracha in the morning. Because if it's his talit katan, he can take care of the question by just making a bracha with the talit gadol, with that in mind. The common custom is always anyway make a bracha on the talit gadol, to cover to the talit katan. That's what we mention always. As explained above in Halacha 24, if this person is not going to put on any other talit during the day, he does not make a new bracha because he's been wearing it since the previous day. So let's see number 57. Okay. Actually, you know what? I actually skipped out. I don't know if I did the footnote about if somebody's in the middle of the Amidah and the talit fell off. Yeah. So let's do this footnote right before we go to 57. So it says over here like this. Od Yosef Chai added that if someone's talit fell off while he was in the middle of the Amidah, and another person came and placed it back onto him. So imagine he's in the middle of Amidah. He can't. Somebody else came, boom, he puts it onto him. So he says he must say the bracha as soon as he completes, right, the Amidah. Yeah, he says the Mishnah Brura agreed with this, right, and their source for this ruling is the Sherek and Etzabzullah. Nevertheless, their custom is not to say a bracha, and that's the ruling of the Yalkut Yosef. Right? Again, it's always going to be the machloka between the Ben Ish Chai, right, and the Yalkut Yosef. Ben Ish Chai was going a lot like Maran. You're making a new beracha, right? And you keep on going, right? But we were going like Maran. That was our minhag as well. So it's a Ben Ish Chai and also this thing. Yeah, one second. So he says, nevertheless, their custom is not to do it. That's the Yalkut Yosef. And if it's possible to find someone else to make the beracha on his behalf, meaning he's going to put on the talit, so therefore, just have that in mind. And therefore, obviously, there wouldn't be such a problem. So according to the Rambam, we are not obligated at all to fulfill the mitzvah of tzitzit at nighttime. Okay, that's all the Rambam paskin. So at nighttime, it's not zman tzitzit. So even if someone wears a four-corner garment, he has no obligation of the tzitzit during the nighttime. According to Rabbeinu Rosh, the halacha is determined by the sort of the garment that one is wearing. If it's a garment worn during the day, so the Torah obligates the person wearing it to have tzitzit even during the night. But if it's meant only to be worn during the nighttime, so then the person that's not obligated to wear it, so he doesn't have to, right? Which means that this basically it all depends on what type of garment it is. So for example, if it's a pajama, even if you had a four-cornered garment of a pajama, you're not obligated to see it because it's a night clothing. But if it's a jilabia or whatever that's stored during the day, so if even though you're wearing it during the nighttime, you're obligated to come into it. We're going to learn it later on in Siman 24. Machloket. Which one? Oh, one second. Machloket. Maran and the Machloket the Rosh and the Rambam. Okay, so based on this, one second, right? Based on this, so Maran wrote in the Bet Yosef, right? So based upon this, Maran writes in the Bet Yosef that if someone remains overnight wearing a talit, remember This halacha we're going to learn later on. What type of a beged is chayav and tzitzit? We know that nighttime for sure, right, is not going to be a zman of tzitzit, right? Uritem oto, it has to be vayom, not during the nighttime. So it has to be the time of riyah. So fine. But what is it? Is it halacha in the beged? And that's what the Rosh is saying. So is the beged yom or beged laila? Or is it zman, which is the Rambam? So that's going to be Rambam and Rosh, Machlok Rambam and Rosh. So he says, based upon this, says the Bet Yosef, if someone is going to remain with the talit overnight, says the Rambam, he makes a nu beracha, right, in the morning. Why? Because since he began yesterday, ended at nightfall, and it's a new mitzvah. According to the Rosh, it doesn't work. Why not? This I could ask you, because I just mentioned it. Because according to the Rosh, a talit is a beged yom. So if it's a talit beged yom, even though you're wearing it during the nighttime, right? It's still chayav and tzitzit. But it's a beged. It's in the beged. So according to the Rosh, the next morning, for sure you're not going to make a bracha. It's only according to the Rambam that has nothing to do with the beged. It has to do with the zman, the time. So therefore, according to the Rambam, the time ended at nighttime. After Shekiyah, right? Or Ben Shvashol, whatever it is, that's it. It finished. So if it finished, so that's it. So according to the Rosh, however, he's never stopped fulfilling the mitzvah the day before, since he's wearing the daytime garment and he remained on the entire time. So the two rule, therefore, he doesn't make a nu bracha, right? Because of the Rosh. So because of the Rosh, you don't make a bracha. The Rambam, you would. Maran, however, ruled, right? Cited the response of Rabbeinu Hashed, ruling that one must save the bracha in the morning, even though he wore the talit the entire time. He explained that although this is a daytime garment and the person is wearing it and therefore he's obligated in it, nevertheless, each new day is a new mitzvah. That means even according to the Rosh, that you would be a chayav in the garment, but today is a new day. Every day is a new day. And therefore, since every single day is a new day, it's a new moon, it's a new sun that came up. It's a new day. Start off the day in the right way. Why? It's something new. So he said, based on this, Maran rules that if someone sleeps overnight while wearing his talit, he says the beracha the next morning. Because why? According to the Rambam, for sure you have to make a nu beracha. Why? Laila was not zman tzitzit. And if nighttime is not zman tzitzit, so they already finished during Shkiyah the day before, so now it's a new mitzvah. And even according to the Rosh, that he's wearing a talit, and a talit is chayav in nighttime, because since it's a beged yom, it's a day clothing, so if you're going to be chayav, he says it's a new mitzvah. New day, new mitzvah. New day, new daf. Yeah, new day, everything's new. You start fresh, right? Don't start with the baggage of yesterday. Start fresh. Some achronim, they countered the Rosh, later retracted, right? That the ruling that he did in the shoot, in the Shelot Utshuvot. So it might be that they added the response was written for the sake of someone who followed the opinion of the Rambam. Therefore, many of the achronim, whether it's going to be the Ben Ish Chai, Mishnah Berurah, Kavachim, they rule that a person should not make a bracha. Right? One can solve this problem by just saying the bracha over one talit gadol, and then have that in mind. Sephardic Jews, though, generally recite the bracha with talit gadol every day, and they have that in mind. Right? And even if someone plans not to wear a talit gadol during the day, he must nevertheless not say a bracha on the talit katan. So again, it's always the same thing of safek berachot lakel, right, that we keep on coming back to.